ticking and it's ticking fast. We've had enough, this greed can't last. So count your days. You raise the price, but the vibe ain't right. Monthly subscription bills on repeat. Prices rise, but the pay don't change. We're stuck in the middle of a losing game. Count your days. Your game's exposed, the whole world knows your time is up, no more to say. Claiming inflation, but we see the play. How much more do we have to pay? Count your days.
Hey tea sippers, I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm on my country girl swag, okay? So welcome to another episode of Count Your Days, okay?
Count your fucking days, bitch.
I know y'all have been waiting and I have a good one. If y'all do not know, China said, count your days, bitch. Okay, China is in their feelings. They are going in. They are spilling all the tea, okay? So let me go ahead and run this back real quick. So if you guys do not know, we started a trade war tariff with China. And then our Vice President, J.D. Vance, got onto the international stage and basically called the Chinese people peasants. And they were not feeling that shit whatsoever.
To buy things that other countries make for us. And to make it a little bit more crystal clear, we borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity. It's not a recipe for low prices, and it's not a recipe for good jobs in the United States of America.
All right, so you guys saw what J.D. Vance had to say. And then during my live stream, I had played a message from a man named Victor Gao. I didn't know his name at the time, but he's like a Chinese, foreign minister. And then he spoke up and was like, you know what? China been around for 5,000 years because we're not going nowhere. I mean, he didn't say it like that, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all get the gist of what he was trying to say. Basically, he wants all the smoke, okay?
China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. Right. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
When you hear Donald Trump say China wants a deal, it just doesn't know how to go about it. They're proud people. J.D. Vance talks about Chinese peasants. What do you make of their conduct in this respect?
If J.D. Vance thinks that he's dealing with the peasants in China, and I'm proud to be a descendant of the peasants, most of us are descendants of the peasants anyway, that's our tradition. We are farmers before. But now we are one of the leading industrialized economies in the world. So I'm sorry, J.D. Vance doesn't know what he's talking about. And therefore, I don't think there will be China-US dialogue unless the United States changes its attitude towards China. Deal with China as it is. Show respect to China. Show respect to the Chinese people. And don't try to impose your prejudice and biased view about China or about the rest of the world.
So then soon after that, then the memes started coming out. They were AI memes. It showed Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance basically working as Chinese workers. And also they were mimicking if they bought those same shops to America, what would it look like? So as you see, it started with the AI wars. And what is so crazy is that on my live stream 2 days ago, I talked about this. I talked about the globalization. I talked about how this affects everyone. I talked about how the factories were shut down in China and how that was affecting them. Also, how when it shut down in America back in the 80s and things like that, how it affected us. But most importantly, I also spoke about luxury goods. And I told you guys that most luxury goods are made in China. And then they ship it to Italy and put all the sauce on there, and then you end up paying 2-3 times what that bag is worth, what those shoes are worth, basically because of what the luxury item, means to the rest of the world. Let me go ahead and play a flashback within a flashback. Not me reacting to myself, but I'm doing this to make a point. I spoke about this 2 days ago, and I just love when I'm proven right, honey. Okay.
Nike shoes, $10, which sells 150 on the shelf. A Stanley Cup, $50. The factory gets $1. But when they sell millions of them, that's millions of dollars, and all surplus. That's where the surplus comes from. But for every $1 the factory made, somebody in America is making $49. Who is benefit from the globalization? And think about the pollution the factory has to cause in the local area. Who is benefit from the globalization? I don't know.
Think about it, like, who is benefiting? It's the rich. It's the corporations. It's not the average Chinese worker. They're getting paid. Well, they're not even getting paid. The factory is getting paid $10 per Nike shoe. Then the Nike shoe comes here and it's sold to us for $150, 3 times the worth. Think about how all of these high-end brands, remember, they were getting called out not too long ago. I believe it was Dior, Louis Vuitton. Remember, tell them tea, spill the tea, okay? They're supposed to be making stuff in Italy. That's why people pay higher prices for these high-end bags. And then it was some type of undercover investigation, only to find out that a lot of these bags are being made in China. So the same replica bags that people are buying, the authentic bags are being made in the same factory. And then what they even found out is that even when they say, oh, this bag is made in Italy, what they're doing is bringing in Chinese labor and having them work in factories in Italy because they can exploit them and pay them a lot less. So who is benefiting? It's the greed. It's the greed around the world. These companies have made so much money, billions of dollars. You can't take none of it to the grave. All right, not TT reacting to herself. Okay, Tigro Damas strikes again. Now, what's going on TikTok is basically everything I was stating 2 days ago. And I've been talking about this for years. That's why I don't care when people be sitting here flossing their so-called designer goods. Why are you paying $4,000 and $5,000 for a bag that costs $20 to make? You're literally paying for a name. I found this out years ago as far as makeup goes. You notice when y'all ask me, oh, T, what kind of lipstick are you wearing? You notice I always say NYX. You never hear me say really MAC or, you notice I usually just say NYX. Most of the lipsticks I buy are just NYX. I have a few MAC products, but mainly NYX products is what I like. Why? Because one of my friends who's an esthetician, he does skincare. When he was in makeup school, they took them to the factory and he told me that basically it is the same formula in the high-end lipstick as it is in the generic lipstick. So there's no difference between the formula in a MAC lipstick and a NYX lipstick. And ever since I was told that, I'm going to go for the NYX. Okay, that's why there's always a dupe. Items are only worth the value that we put into them, the value that we hold into them, what we believe that they're worth. At the end of the day, it's a bag. It's a pair of shoes. And when I first got a pair of red bottoms, I don't know what I thought. I thought because they were red bottoms, they were supposed to be extra comfortable. You're paying all this money for it. Guess what? By the end of the night, my feet hurt just the same as if I would have bought like a $20 pair of high heels. It hurt just the same. It's just a status symbol. I have this and I have that. It's something to raise their self-esteem and make them feel like they're better than people who can't afford it. And again, there's nothing wrong with buying luxury goods. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself, okay? Because I have a few luxury items, but I also understand that a lot of it is bullshit. It comes from China. People ask me all the time, honey, where do you get your weave? Who do you go to? Are you getting it from an influencer? What influencer do you? I don't buy shit from an influencer. I have my own connections in China. That is why I can switch my hair up every day. I get my wigs for a fraction of the price. I'm not paying an influencer $600 for a wig that I can get for $50. These are relationships that I built over the years with Chinese factories, because I've also sold my own products that have come from overseas. So, you get in where you can fit in. But now the Chinese factory workers, they are basically trying to cut out the middleman. They are coming to TikTok, and when I tell you, they are spilling all the tea. They're exposing all these high-end brands. They're exposing Nike, the hair shops, the luxury high-end furniture pieces. Oh, they're not holding back. And right now, TikTok is in shambles. People are shooketh. I don't know why, because this information has been out here for years. But I guess, people are finally learning, like, oh, it's not a myth. It's not just somebody who's broke and hating. They were telling the truth the whole time. Everything is made in China, okay? So we're going to go ahead and watch some of these videos, and I'm going to react to them.
States, you have nothing, China. Yes, MAGA, we don't have child labor, school shooting, homeless problem, genocide, oligarchy, monopoly, crazy expensive yet inefficient healthcare system, heavy tax on working class, property tax every year, anti-Semitism awareness law, a supremacy bubble you live in, built by multi-billion-dollar worth propaganda, a fake free speech, fake democracy. Yeah, you guys got it all. Also, we don't have MAGA. Hi, I'm only joking with you. Why your MAGA suddenly get also defensive and start to throwing all this Western propaganda about China at me? Those propaganda created to enslave you. It doesn't work on me. I know real China.
Damn.
You think you don't have master? Then why you are being a financial slave? The student loan, all the interest of your loan is crazy. It's illegal in China. Thank you, sir. And yes, exactly. In this world, only China buying that many agricultural products. And 1.4 billion Chinese, no one is starving. Do you know India? India has people starving to death every year, and they are still exporting agricultural products to other countries. Capitalism. Hello from China. Let me show you the United States products in my home. Nothing. Do you have something from China in your home?
Damn.
Without United States, you have nothing, China. Yes, MAGA, we don't have child labor, school shooting, homeless.
Okay, this Chinese brother, he ate, okay? He done pulled our wigs off, okay? He done snatched the wigs. And, he bought a lot of truth in what he's saying. He's saying a lot of truths.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodged tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare costs, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave property made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed you lies. Well, they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
All right. So like I said, it's getting real. You know, they are clowning us. They are, you know, pulling out a lot of truths because China has been able to really rebuild themselves with the money that they've made from being exploited. Like they understand that America and other countries like Europe are exploiting them. They're getting paid $10 while we turn around and flip it for 2, 3, 4 times the price. They get that, but they ate it. They took it and they made something out of it. And what's also very interesting is, if you guys don't know, China is now refusing to prosecute anybody who's making replicas or bootleg copies of anything American. So like the bags, the luxury goods, before you might get in trouble, but now China is rescinding all those laws. They said, we are not about to punish our citizens for remaking y'all stuff. We don't care. So I think when they put that rule into place, that said a lot. So now a lot of these manufacturers are coming out and they're exposing everything.
Did you know who actually manufactures for Sephora? Let me review the key Chinese suppliers for you. First, the nail products at Sephora mainly come from Muran in Shanghai. And then about 80% of facial masks are made by TIC. For eyeshadows, they're mainly provided by Shencai in Zhuhai. About their lipsticks, blushes, and other color cosmetics, those are made by the Typo Group. Now you know the real manufacturers for Sephora, your favorites. Want me to expose more about the beauty trends? Comment below and I will cover them in my next video. I'm Tara, your trusted sourcing agent in China.
They are legit spilling all the tea. I have so many videos, it is ridiculous.
$10 and $10. Always $10. We have 7 colors. Look, app cards. Blue, pink, green, black, and coffee. This is warehouse. If you need, please contact me.
What that is Birkenstocks. And those Birkenstocks can run anywhere from 100 on up. And they're literally $10 at the Chinese factory.
Stop using Alibaba. Here are better websites for sourcing factories from China for specific categories. For electronics components, visit OFFCN.com. For car accessories, check cheapeiren.com. For industry material, GoBangBang.com. For clothing, check VVIC.com. For more sourcing tips, follow Yuki, your best business partner from China.
There's nothing a Chinese factory can't make. Brooks Brothers, a premium shirt brand from the States, actually produce most of their products all in China. One of their largest suppliers is actually based in Guangdong in China. Interesting, the scale of the factories in this region specifically, they're not massive, but all of them are willing to invest heavily in research and development. For example, the world's first long-stable cotton gene sequencing product was completed here. Factories from this region are beloved by those world top brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Lacoste, Hugo Boss. Recent years, with the rise of emerging manufacturing countries like Vietnam and India, many might think that Guangdong's shirt industry might get impacted. But that's not the case, at least for now, because Guangdong's niche market is only for those middle to high-end markets like Europe and America. With its technological advantages, it will remain as a significant area. Alright guys, that's enough for today. If you're interested,
your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory. They just add the logo in Europe to make you pay the price of 10 times. Close your eyes. If your hammer says made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not quality issue. It's luxury brand washing. Fun fact, the hand stitching your product, 42% are Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap. We do underrated luxury. Why pay 2,000 euro for Parisian air, same leather, same craft, just without the European fairy tale facts? Be a luxury rebel. You can shop on Chinese platforms such as Taobao, 1688, Tianmao, Jingdong. You can even go directly to Guangzhou, Yiwu, Quanzhou, Wenzhou to buy. Don't know how to buy, how to pay, or arrange delivery? Just PM me. GoNest to provide free shopping guidance and shipping services for you.
Recognize this style, this brand? Of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been the OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I'm not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low. What I'm really proud of is that first, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories of any kind, any color, and leathers immediately. Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. Three, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories. That is why they failed, and that is why we will always be the best OEM factory for luxury brands. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we give you.
Now he's keeping it 100. And one thing that needs to be mentioned is the reason why they have a lot of connections to get the leather and the zippers and the, you know, the golds and things that they use for these purses is that a lot of the leather and a lot of the tanning comes from Africa, particularly Nigeria. And so that is why you see a lot of Chinese in Africa. They're making, you know, deals with the Africans to get the leather, to get these goods, you know. And so it's like a whole, like I tell you, globalization is just one big circle of life, literally. You know, you're thinking, you know, a lot of times as Americans and Europeans, we are at the tail end of the product. You know, we're getting it once everything's been put together and it's in a beautiful box and we're unboxing it. We don't understand what it takes to, you know, tan leather and get those hard raw materials to put them together to make a purse. The same way that we don't understand how food gets to our table from farm to table. A lot of us don't understand that. You know, it's the same thing with a lot of these luxury goods. So that's why he's saying they are the best of the best because they've made a lot of friends in a lot of places. India doesn't have those type of connections. Vietnam doesn't have those type of connections, but China does. You know, so that's why they're secure. Like, okay, fine. If Louis Vuitton wants to pull out of China, it's cool. They'll come crawling back. So it's very interesting to see all of this being exposed because this is a lot of stuff that I've known for years. So I'm glad that people are finally waking up to a lot of this stuff via TikTok.
But they're so expensive. Okay, you can tell me what's the price of this too?
Yeah, 1.9.
1.9, almost $2.
Yeah, $3.
$3 for wholesale? How come your products are so expensive?
Okay, there are two reasons. First one, the material, because this is acid material. Acid is more eco-friendly, more flexible and durable than acrylic and PVC or plastic material. So, for example, this one, our unit price is $2 and the material cost will be around 60%. Cutting process, all the rest process all made by hand.
Handmade?
Yeah, handmade.
It's a huge labor.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, there are so many products in your showroom. Can you tell me how many SKUs do you have here?
Actually, we have more than around 70% of your customers. Yeah, so we cannot count how many SKU we have. But for ready stock, we have around more than 1,000 SKU in our warehouse.
Okay. And in the past, like how many different styles you ever made? Can you count that? Remember? More than 10,000?
Cannot. Yeah, I cannot remember. Yeah, and we can update the design quickly. Like every year, the design is totally different.
All right, guys, if you're interested in these kind of high quality beauty accessories, like Nico. Who are the suppliers of Zara in China? The supplier of Zara shoes is Yuanli Shoes. The supplier of Zara coats is Tongli Clothing, and is also the OEM factory for H&M. And the supplier of Zara's knitwearing is Wanli Weaving. I'm Luna. Comment and let me know what other suppliers behind Who are Victoria's Secret's laundry suppliers in China? First, Regina Mirate, the largest supplier for Victoria's Secret. It is also the world's largest manufacturer for laundry products. And guess what? Regina Mirate shares 49% the stake of Victoria's Secret China. As wonderful as it is, it also the suppliers behind Uniqlo and Lululemon. Next, Winston Technology from Shenzhen. Besides Victoria's Secret, Winston also served for Decathlon, La Senza, Jockey, and Li-Ning. Finally, Hoplon, founded by a Swedish entrepreneur, Eric Ryan, in China. Hoplon is world's third largest laundry manufacturer. Target is also its client. Alright guys, that's enough for today. If you want to know more about factories...
Are you looking for jewelry supplier from China? Bracelet $1, earring $1, necklace $2, brooch $1. This is my jewelry warehouse in Yiwu City. No middleman, no commission. 20,000 cards starting at $1. Follow Mark, make money. Are you looking for jewelry?
Stop by on Alibaba. On Alibaba, you will only meet a middleman who raises up the price up to the sky. Here are 5 better websites recommended to you. Looking for industrial supplies, go to VIPMRO.com. Looking for electronic components, try SQEW.com. For furniture, head to MayEllie.com. Looking for men's clothes, go to WFY.com. Looking for food and beverages, check SPDL.com. Comment below what other products you are looking for. Follow Rosie, make sourcing easy.
Do you know who are the suppliers of Levi's in China? Number 1, JD United from Changzhou. It is the world's largest denim manufacturer, and it also supplies fast fashion brands like Gap, Uniqlo, UG, and CNA. Number 2, Black Peony, also from Changzhou. It has nearly a century of history and is known for its expertise in denim fabric development. And number 3, Crystal International, the world's largest garment manufacturing company. They produce most of the clothing for the brand like Lee, A&F, Wrangler. Alright guys, that's enough for today. I'm Luna.
Alibaba! Buying from Alibaba. The middleman on there will just raise the price up to the sky there. So folks, here's the 3 websites I want to share you to make America great again. First, if you look for clothes, go to this website. Second, if you look for toys, go to this website. Third, if you look for any products, go to 1688.com. When you are doing t-shirts business, try harder. Nobody knows t-shirts better than them. So follow and leave your comments, and let's make America great again.
Wow. I'm telling you, this is all over TikTok. This is on everybody's For You page. They are going in. They are spilling all the damn tea. For real, for real.
130, 130, 130, 130. All these men's jeans are only $130. I'm a clothing supplier in China, so I'm not kidding you. And the quality is very good. Look at the fabric and details. You can sell $10 or even $20 in your country, but the last 10,000 pieces are only sold for $130. If you are interested, please tell me. I will send you all the styles.
Stop using Alibaba. Alibaba is full of middlemen. If you are sourcing from China, you have to know these websites. The comprehensive procurement website, BiggoBuy.com. Looking for cosmetic products, go to Nala.com. Looking for shoes, go to 鞋补头.com. Looking for toys, go to toybaba.com. Looking for jewelers, go to gooddiy.com and let me know what other websites you want to know.
Look, China is so big. If you want to source cosmetics from China, don't miss this sites. GShow.com, you can find many brands here. Number 2, Nala.com.cn. This site offers a wider variety of products. Number 3, ZGHZP.com. Suppliers on this side of source factories, and they can provide OEM, ODM services. Number 4, DODOLAI.com. This site specializes in makeup products. Comment below what other products you are looking for. Rosie in Yiwu, China.
So as you see, it is getting real. The Chinese manufacturers have literally taken over TikTok. They're spilling all the tea. And I'm not going to be surprised if they just end up shutting down TikTok. Like, y'all take y'all asses to Red Note and Instagram. They are doing too much. So now we're going to watch everybody's reactions to what's going on right now on TikTok with all the manufacturers just spilling all the industry tea that many of us have been spilling for years, but we're called broke, dusty haters. Okay. So let's go ahead and watch these reactions right now.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm loving my Chinese spy, my Chinese supplier. Man, I know after this 75-day extension, we out of here on TikTok. We gone. It's suppliers on here selling Nikes for $1 and $2, y'all. Man, they dragging Herms through the mud. They are really showing us that we are being manipulated into working.
I'm sure by now you've come across a video of a Chinese person telling you how to get these Hermes bags or these other companies' products for the low, straight from the source. But I'm here to tell you, they are selling homes now. Selling these aluminum-based modular homes, man. They even got 2-story ones. Just 5 or 6 days. This social media push by a lot of these Chinese manufacturers is absolutely hilarious. Like, all that tariff talk was happening, and it was just like...
We don't care. We don't care.
Vic, you can get a full house in this factory for $10,000. Twisted cabinet, swivel sofa, Pandora's table.
I think they may be talking about the furniture.
Airplane cabinet, sofa, Venetian table, space bed.
As crazy as those deals or houses are, it reminds me of the Nakagain capsule tower that was in Japan. Like, very cyberpunk-ish. You can literally see some of these companies that are buying up all the land in America, buying a bunch of these and making mega cities like in Judge Dredd. This is definitely giving expensive Airbnb out in Arizona type of vibes. Forgot to add that they range from $10,000 to $20,000 and they make it 80% complete and then ship it to you so it's cheaper. And then they tell you the instructions afterwards. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I want, just make it completely, whatever. I'll pay whatever, but like, just make it and ship it. I'm sure about.
Look, China is so big. If you want to import from China, here we go. There's no drama. Looking for wigs? Xuchang is the king. Looking for toys? EU is the thing. Looking for luggage? Lego is fly. Looking for sneakers? Putin is the guy. Looking for watches? Shenzhen is the top. Comment below.
And I wish I would have knew this motherfucking shit a long time ago. You telling me we've been spending thousands of dollars and we could have been getting...
We tried to tell y'all, but y'all said we was dusty, broke haters. This tea been out here for years online. But continue, brother.
Been getting furniture for the fraction of that price. China has a vast manufacturing. Time ago, you telling me we've been spending thousands of dollars and we could have been getting furniture for the fraction of that price. China has a vast manufacturing infrastructure that allows for large-scale production, which means that's why it's so cheap. Watch this.
Who is the Chinese supplier of light luxury furniture? The supplier of various luxury brands is Mingxi International. It has been producing furniture for more than 35 years.
Wow.
Usually you spend $1,000 to buy furniture, but over here you only need 1/10 of the cost.
A couple
There are
bucks?
many styles such as the Italian
We need to hop
luxury
on
style,
that.
modern minimalism style, American romantic style, and so on. It is one of the largest OEM factories for international brands. If you want to source furniture from China,
I remember back in the day when we was in school, they used to tell us about imports and exports, how prices would be different. But who knew that the prices would be this different? Who knew that good old America would really be getting over us that hard? I mean, fucking us real hard. And before you mention anything about the shipping, oh man, the shipping is not that expensive as what you people think. They're basically telling you, hey, come shop with us, skip the middleman.
Hey, so if you're not on the side of Chinese manufacturing TikTok, I wrote down all the apps and all the websites that I have found. I will put it in the caption and I will put it in the comments and I will take a screenshot to anyone that needs me to send it to them. And
Pick up your phone, bestie. China is spilling all of its manufacturing goods secrets, and I put them all on an Excel spreadsheet. You can find things from Lululemon to sneakers to bags, everything, even furniture. This list is compiled of all the manufacturers that I've found doing research on TikTok and as well as WhatsApp and things of that nature.
Zara supplier in China. So Zara have different suppliers for different categories of things. For their sweaters or like jumpers, they source from Changshu Sophia West Sweater Co., Changshu Sophia Maoshan. Also this company, Dongguan Pulaya 纺织科技有限公司 Dongguan Polaya Textile Technology. For their puffer jackets, they source from this company, Quanzhou Lulusen Fushi.
The Chanel cosmetics, 80% are made in China and cost only $5. They just add the logo in France and charge you 10 to 40 times the price. Close your eyes. If your Chanel cosmetics says made in China, will it feel cheaper? It's not about quality, it's about brand brainwashing. Interesting fact, who makes Chanel cosmetics? 42% are crafted by Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap goods. We do understand luxury.
You know who is producing high quality accessories for those luxury brands like Chanel, Estee Lauder, L'Oreal? You're saying you're the supplier behind all these beauty accessories for those big luxury brands? L'Oreal, MAC, Chanel, Bobbi Brown, and even Rosewood Hotel.
Last week we also received an order from Stan. Yeah, the comb like 20,000
Nicole's,
like
Wholesalers, it's 2024 and you still don't know who are the suppliers behind Dior? Their knitwears and cardigans are from Beyond Garments from Hangzhou. Beyond Garments is also the supplier behind many luxury brands.
The bags come from China, but the leather comes from Nigeria. The bags are manufactured in China.
Tell it,
but
sis.
The leather, the exotic skins, the snake skin, the alligator, it comes from Kano, Nigeria. Come on in, let's talk about it.
I'm glad somebody's hitting on this. Like I said earlier, that is how China has all these relationships with Africa, because a lot of the source material is coming from the motherland. Just like in technology, the coltan and the lithium and all that stuff is coming from Africa. Okay, so let's hear what she has to say.
About it, yes, because I love that the Chinese manufacturers are coming on here and asserting that they are producing these luxury bags and luxury goods, but also Black people have a hand in that manufacturing by way of tanneries in Kano, Nigeria. So a tannery is an institution, a business in which you are converting animal products like skins, leather, suede, alligator skin, snake skins, all kinds of exotic skins into textiles so that they can be used for goods, clothing, bags. And Kano, Nigeria is headquarters, world headquarters for this practice. And they have long since been headquarters for hundreds of years.
Thanks.
I interviewed during the pandemic a man named Winston, and he leads a business out of Kano, Nigeria called Winston Leathers. And they are actually a third generation tannery. So he confirmed that his tannery produces leather goods and exotic skins for brands like LVMH, so Louis Vuitton's portfolio of brands, Ralph Lauren, many other luxury brands. And I interviewed him on Twitter. I'll link to that thread so you can go back and read it. But yeah, he shared that this practice of providing exotic skins to the world, but specifically to China, goes back to the Silk Road, when traders in Mali were providing leather goods up through Morocco and on into Asia. Moroccan leather is known for its quality, and Winston actually shared that Moroccan leather can be traced back to Kano, Nigeria, and is actually Kano leather. So I love all the conversation that Chinese manufacturers have started around like amplifying that those goods are produced and manufactured in China. I want to go a layer deeper and talk about how Black people are actually contributing to the manufacturing as well, because the leather goods and the exotic skins that make up those bags that they're putting together in China actually started on the continent of Africa.
I love her. I love the fact that she is breaking this down so succinctly. Yes, sis. Her name is Shelby Ivy Christie. That's her name. But yeah, she's breaking it down. At this point in time, we need to have an international meeting, okay? We need to not only meet with the Nigerians who are helping to, you know what I'm saying, source the materials, but several countries around Africa that are sourcing the materials for all of these products that are being made in China, okay? At this point in time, we need to have a globalization conference, because everybody who's getting screwed is the regular man and woman. We're paying 10 times the price to these corporations and these luxury companies when they are exploiting labor in Africa and they're exploiting the artisans in China. It's like I keep telling y'all, it's one big circle of life. It really is. So you guys can check out the rest of the bags and stuff on her channel because the video is kind of long, but she made a lot of good points and she has like some really cute bags as well. But yes, this is all one big circle. And I think there's a revolution right now going on. I think people are finally waking up and understanding how much they've been jerked around and how they were played. They were played. Like I said, you have poor people going at each other while the billionaire class is laughing all the way to the bank. And so the Chinese are fighting back the best way they can. The Americans are waking up and understanding like, damn, these luxury items that I spend so much money on to impress people who really don't give a fuck about me are not even worth the material that it's printed on. $10,000 Birkin bags to me never made sense. I'd rather have $10,000 in my bank account. I'd rather have $10,000 that's put into real estate. I'd rather have $10,000 that's put into stocks and bonds, not a bag. So, yeah, we're going to keep watching some more.
Child, the Chinese manufacturers are online spilling all the tea. They're letting y'all know how everything is made so cheaply. Now, listen, everybody knows that things are made cheaper over in China. That we've already known. But what you guys probably don't know, and I work in fashion, so I don't know if I should spill this tea.
Spill it. Spill the tea, sis. Spill it.
What y'all probably don't know is, let's just say you buy something, very expensive designer, and it says it's made in Italy because you expect it to be made in Italy. Mm-hmm. But in most cases, 80% of it was probably made in China, and then they...
Haven't I been saying this forever? Thank you, Ebony Brown Style. That's her name on TikTok, for confirming this. Thank you, sis. Let's continue.
Ship it over to Italy for the last 20%. I know. Now you know. I'm a stylist. This is why I don't ever pay full price for designer items. Before I got into fashion, I bought everything full price, off the racks, Neiman, Saks, Rodeo, all of the things. But when I started working in fashion and I realized that most of the things are not truly made in the places they say they are truly made in, they're not truly made in Italy. They're usually made in China, and then a small percentage of it is all it takes to say it's made in Italy, when really it's made in China. The manufacturers who are spilling the tea are exactly correct. They are not lying to you. The Chinese manufacturers are on.
So this just goes to show you, how rich people brag about quiet fashion and, minimal logos. They're just getting their shit directly from the source. And then they put the loud branding and logos on there for the urban community, because we love a logo, honey. We love a Louis Vuitton logo. We love a Chanel across the chest. We want everybody to know that we're wearing luxury items. Child, I think I got this damn flannel on Amazon for $10. This is a $2 tank top. This is like a $3 tank top from Walmart. And this is why I've never been one to care about, branding. People go in all the time about my clothes, because I'm not on here as an influencer rocking Chanel and Dior and all that stuff. And again, I have some of those pieces. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not what makes me. I feel more comfortable in this. This is shit, bitch. Amazon, Walmart, chic, okay? So I'm loving this. I'm loving the fact that people are finally waking up. At the end of the day, them damn luxury items, they still be shrinking in the wash. They still tear up after a while. You know what I'm saying? Things are just not as manufactured as well as they were when we were younger. I still have some clothes from high school that are still in good condition compared to some jeans now that I get from some of these higher end stores. And that's true tea. It's crazy when you really go down the fashion rabbit hole and how all this stuff is just really exploitative and them taking advantage of the poor so that way they can be billion-dollar companies.
FYP is full of these videos from China just sharing how they manufacture luxury goods and how they're trying to just go straight to the consumers now, and they don't even want to work with these brands. It seems like I'm surprised more people didn't know that they'll, for example, if they're doing a luxury bag, they'll probably make the majority of the bag in China, and then they'll ship it back to whatever country it is, and then in that country they'll either add some finishing touches or they'll add their logo or some sort of something, right? They'll add something so that allows them to be able to write made in Italy or made in America, not 100% made in America. And I'm surprised more people don't know that, but like the quality for China products are just as good. We always had this assumption that China goods are not good, but it's all propaganda at this point. And all I see right now is that China is going to keep growing and surpassing all the other countries. This is a long time coming because for a really long time, a lot of people looked down on China, but now more people are traveling to China and seeing the reality of the situation, which I think is amazing because the tides turn.
Yeah, she's speaking the truth. A lot of these items are made in China and they are great quality. You know what I'm saying? Even when I made my plaques, matter of fact, let me grab my plaque. So if you came to my Millie party, this took me a few months to not only design, but then to find someone to make this. You know, I had to speak to so many warehouses to make this because I gave all of we had over 250 people that came to the Millie party. Everyone got a plaque because I didn't get to 1 million subscribers by myself. You know, I got here because of my wonderful tea sippers. And so this was my present to everybody, just one of my presents that I gave to everybody. And I got these made overseas in China. But again, you have to know the warehouses, you have to know the people, and this is amazing quality, and they were not cheap. I spent several $1,000s to get these made to give to my tea sippers. And so, no, there's no poor quality about anything that I've had to get made overseas and stuff like that. A lot of the custom pieces, if you come to my parties and stuff like that, the custom tea sipper favors and things like that are made over there and they're good quality. The pens and, you know, the notepads and all that stuff. So it's really interesting to see all of this coming out and people really understanding the totality of the situation.
I've been knew China was making everything.
Clock that
I've been knew it. All those luxury goods or everything made in China. I've been knew it. They've been fooling y'all. Making y'all pay all that money for it. I've been new.
Good.
I've been new.
I'm glad she's been new, okay?
And some of them companies is not even using the top Chinese manufacturers. They using mid. They're not even using they using mid and then they selling it for high over here. And they're not even paying the people over here. And they're not even paying the people over there. And y'all was paying all the money for what? $2,000 sweater, $1,000 shoes. Shits is $10, $20. They knew that. They was marking up all the prices in the pandemic. When the pandemic was over, everything is wild high. And ask all the employees. They still ain't making shit. Like, y'all gotta wake up.
All right, who else is glued to Chinese manufacturer TikTok? Man, they are blowing up the luxury goods market. I think they're going to blow it up much more than Bethany Frankel did for Chanel. One that is going around a lot, Sunbags, SEN. I recommend you follow them. The gentleman went through the entire breakdown of how they create an Hermes bag, which is valued at, if you buy it in the US, $38,000. He goes through like every single thing that they use, the exact quality of an Hermes bag that they make in their warehouse. And the US dollar cost is $1,400. The difference between the $1,400 of actual labor and resources and the $38K is when Hermes puts their label on it. And they make all of these other luxury
Think about how greedy and sick that is. That it costs us $1,400, total to make a bag. And then somebody can slap a label on there and then all of a sudden the price jumps up 10 times the price. That is insane to me. That makes no sense whatsoever.
The tea that no one is spilling. China used to play nice. They respected copyright, trademark laws, and all of that. But now we're in the middle of a trade war, and they are done pretending to care. Because in reality, they were only doing that to play nice. Chinese manufacturers are skipping the middleman, No more brands, no more retailers. They are using TikTok, and think about this, a platform that they don't even have in mainland China. TikTok is not in mainland China. It's in 7 countries and not China. But China is now using it to advertise directly to you. They are selling Lululemon quality leggings for $10, bags that look like Dior for $20, and they're not hiding it. They're naming names, showing tags, and shipping straight to your door. This isn't about dupes anymore. This is a straight up takedown of Western retail. And guess what? People are buying it.
So China has clapped back after the tariffs and has said, guess what, America? We make 80% of your luxury bags. And guess what? They're not lying. I looked into it. Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton has outsourced some production to China, primarily to capitalize on the Chinese luxury market and benefit from lower production costs. This is just the beginning. Prada has outsourced its manufacturing primarily to reduce costs and tap into the vast Chinese market. This strategy allowed the brand to lower production expenses and simultaneously capitalize on China's growing consumer base and increase in purchasing power.
So now that the Chinese manufacturers are coming out and spilling the beans on all of the secrets about how they're the ones that actually make and manufacture the luxury goods and how much they should actually cost, there's one more secret that I feel like every single American needs to know. So you know the stereotype that things from China are cheap and low quality? That was actually never true. China has always had, for decades now, the most advanced manufacturing facilities in the entire world. So where did this come from? It came from the fact that there's a whole bunch of middlemen in America, billionaires, FBA bros, everyone that would just go to China and purposely try to get the lowest quality, cheapest, shittiest product they could ever fucking find, and then come over and sell it at a premium price. And that's why we have this idea that all things made in China are cheap and shitty. Like in China, you can go over and buy a pair of shoes for like $1, and that's going to be the equivalent of like the cheap Chinese shoes that they sell over here for $20 or $30. But in reality, like they actually have a pair they sell for $12 that's like supreme quality that is like nothing we have over here. They just don't want to import that pair because then that takes up too much of their money. Like this whole time, China has been making good shit. It's just like we didn't know that because of propaganda and they want to scam us.
Have y'all seen the TikToks that China is putting out about all the secrets on how luxury items are made? And they're just slapping the names on it. Y'all, if you have not seen the TikToks that China is putting out about the things that are being manufactured in China and brought over to the United States of America, you should go and check it out. You should go and check it out. Trump, you should have left them alone. You should have left them the fuck alone.
They probably should have took this app away when they had the chance, because the Chinese manufacturers just hit them folks with the Uno reverse. And right now, the Chinese manufacturers are the best content on TikTok. They said, oh, tariffs, you say. Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike. Bet. Oh, yeah. The manufacturer is such and such, located at such and such in Guangzhou. They do shipping within this time, and here are the products. I've seen the manufacturers for every brand anybody could possibly think of, from shoes and apparel to beauty products. One of the Chinese manufacturers said, oh yeah, you know how you pay such and such $100 for Chanel beauty products? Well, we only make them for $10. Listen, I don't know how this tariff thing is going to play out, but the way that the Chinese manufacturers are playing their hand, absolutely well done. 10s across the board. I told y'all in the years that I lived in China, I got everything under the sun because everything is pretty much made there. So to see people learning about the actual quality that's in China, because not everything is made cheaply, and learning about websites like Taobao, y'all better get to getting while the getting is good.
If I see any of y'all say I paid full price for a Louis, Gucci, Prada, Versace, any of that shit that is made in China, I'ma laugh at you. Yep. Because I just found out that all them hoes are the same. If you got your Gucci from DHK, bitch, it's the same Gucci in the stores. It just got a label. Y'all ain't doing nothing but paying for a label. You label whores are about to be so pressed. and so mad because y'all are not actually buying anything worth of substance. Y'all buying the same shit that we buy on DH Gate, which I ain't never bought anything from DH Gate.
I love what China doing. Keep on exposing these big brands. I just saw a video of this lady saying that, yeah, Lululemon, yeah, those leggings that y'all are paying $100 for, $5-6 over there. Like, and they so petty because now the suppliers are saying, hey, y'all can just come to us directly. You ain't even got to do all that. Don't go to Alibaba. You come right to us. And those wedding bands that y'all are paying thousands of dollars for, you can get that same wedding band for $2. And he really thinks he's doing something with these tariffs. Like, you ain't doing nothing but just exposing yourself and exposing this country. Like, this back and forth mess that he's doing, he's just causing such a big mess. And you can tell that they're getting scared now because now all of a sudden they are saying, hey, well, you know what? It's not going to be on electronics anymore. Not on the electronics, because they saw that Apple went over there and took them phones and flew them back over here. They said, oh, not us. I hope that this is the end of the whole knockoffs conversation. Like,
now, remember what I told y'all about wigs and weaves? I don't get my wigs and weaves from influencers who sell them for $600-700. I go directly to the source, poo, okay? Been going to the source.
80% of the world wigs are all from here. If you ever wondering where to source the wigs, just remember these two names are enough. Xuchang in Henan, Taihu in Anhui. People in Xuchang have been doing wig business since the 90s. And today, there are more than 400 factories specializing in hair product there. And 40% of their wigs are all exported to the US only. And do you know why is that? Guys, 80% of
for everybody that used to be mad at the girlies doing their DH Gate hauls, to the front, to the front, to the front. To the front. Listen, China been on TikTok exposing your favorite brands. All the Lulu girls with the Lulu on your butt.
Let them know.
To the front. I've seen so many videos of these girls that be spending thousands of dollars, mad at girls that spend a good little $50, $60, $100 here and there for the exact same bag. And some of y'all be like, I can tell immediately. Right. Can you? I'm sure even in the worlds of fakes, there are levels to this shit, right? But for years, we all know Nike has sweatshops. All of these other companies, they have sweatshops. And where do y'all think the sweatshops are?
China.
Y'all talking shit about Shein, but it's the same fucking quality as Louis Vuitton.
Facts.
Louis Vuitton. Same factory. We've been saying it for years. It's coming from the same manufacturers. It's coming from the same manufacturers. And y'all are like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is made in France. It's made in Beijing. They just take it over there right before it's finished and they slap a little finishing touches on it and say, made in France. And y'all shell out thousands of dollars. And hey. Once again, I'm not against buying what you want, but this goes down to let people buy what they want. If someone wants the look of something, even if they like the look of the fucking logo and they said, but I ain't paying $12,000 for it because it's not worth Sometimes I just want y'all to admit that y'all just like the name. Y'all just want the brand. Y'all just want people to think that you have money. You don't want it because it looks good, because a lot of times a lot of y'all be throwing on designer from head to toe and look a fucking mess. Look a mess. Oh, you know how much this fit worth? I don't care. Look like shit.
She is going in. She goes in a lot longer, but yeah, she's keeping it all the way real.
Buying fake designer bags still makes no sense to me, regardless of what this man's saying. And the reasons why I say that is I've seen a lot of fake designer bags in my time, and there's always something off about it, whether it's the stitching, it's just the gold hardware might be different. Look at the Louis Vuitton Alma BB bag, for example. With that bag, you've got so much fakes out there. And one thing I've seen across all the fakes is that the stitching is off. The gold...
Girl, sit down with all this shit. You're missing the point. The point is these designers have been putting curtains over your eyes that you think that you're buying something from Italy or from France and that it means more when they're all using the same manufacturers. They're all being made in China. and then the final steps are being made in these European countries, it is the same exact quality. Certain qualities might be a little bit better depending on what Louis Vuitton is willing to pay. But a lot of times it's no different than the shit on DHgate or on other websites. So let's finish hearing what she has to say. She's obviously a label whore, and it's okay, nothing wrong with that. But you're missing the point of why these people are coming out, sis.
Old hardware, the gold on the zips is off. Where the Louis Vuitton placement is off. And even if you get past those checks, cool, the bags look the same. You know, I don't even know why people need to buy fake designer bag. Just buy regular bags that don't have any designers attached to them. You can literally buy a nice leather bag that has no designer brand on it. Do you know what I mean? Buying fake designer bags to me is absolutely ridiculous, but cool.
But why are you pressed though? Why are you mad about how people want to spend their money? You tell people to mind their business when you shell out $5,000 for a bag and you're like, oh, that's expensive. Oh, I can spend my money how I want to. If they want to spend $50 for a bag that looks like your $5,000 bag, let them do them, poo.
Cool. I digress. We pass all those checks and the stitching looks the same and everything looks perfectly fine. But when you want to resell that bag, because I'm a businesswoman, yeah? When you want to resell that bag, what value does it have to resell? Tell me. Because I can resell my bags any single day, any day of the week, and I could...
Well, at this point in time, with all the tea that's being spilled, you're going to have a harder time selling those bags in resale. Because again, now that the truth is coming out to, I guess, a vast majority of social media, who is going to pay you what you think your bag is worth when it's made in the same factory as a DHgate bag? Nobody's going to pay that. Nobody's going to be coming out of pocket to pay $38,000 for a Hermes bag when they're finding out everything is made in the same factory and it only costs $1,400 to make. So this is definitely going to affect the resale market. And it seems like this is why she's upset or maybe feel away, because she resells bags and it might, clearly affect her business, unfortunately.
I could get something out of them. But when you spend a £500 or £400 on an amazing fake, guess what? It's still fake. So you can't resell it. You can't do anything with it. So that money's gone. So guys, just use your common sense, honestly. I'm tired of seeing people investing in fake things. Just buy some normal shit. Aldo's got some nice bags. Primark's got some good stuff. Shein's got some amazing bits and bobs. There's nothing wrong with that.
I like her accent. Bits and bobs. I like her accent. It's cute.
But what I do find something wrong with is people encouraging others to buy fake designer. I'll never be with it, because to me it just screams insecurity. It screams that you can't buy something, but then you're forcing yourself to create a narrative that you can live a certain lifestyle, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's just my 2 pence anyways.
Okay, I'm here for her 2 pence. Okay, I like that. She said 2 pence instead of 2 cents. I love it. Love the accent. So again, these are the conversations that are being had on TikTok. People on either side of the spectrum. It is, oh my gosh, it's been crazy. I don't even know how long this video is going to be because there's so much tea right now.
The whole time I've been getting my stuff from China. You really think I'm finna pay $2,000 for this? No, ma'am. Or this. Or these. Not me. No, ma'am. Because I knew that they all make that stuff from the same place. That be y'all want to pay tens of thousands of dollars just to look nice. The real finesse is I got the same bags as you for 3 times less than what you paid for it. The whole time.
So wait, let me get this straight. For years, we've been called conspiracy theorists about big corporations just slapping the Made in America or Made in France logos on everything. And all of these products were actually made in China. And now, Chinese manufacturers, they are straight up exposing them. Posting videos, receipts, factory floor footage, it's all out there. Turns out that $800 handbag, that luxury artisan cookware, yeah, that all costs $7 to make in China. Your favorite woke corporation, they just slap their logo on it and sell it back to you for 100 times the regular price. And here's the kicker. The same corporations are out here crying about Trump's tariffs, claiming it would ruin business. No, what ruined business is out here lying to Americans while outsourcing jobs, exploiting labor, and, well, pretending to be premium brands. Now, the Chinese manufacturers, they are cutting the middleman and they are going straight to the source, the American people. Yes, you have to order in bulk, like 100 plus units. But they're offering the transparency in the U.S. that corporations are refusing to give. Here's the truth. Trump's tariffs, they didn't hurt the American consumer. They hurt globalist corporations who are overcharging Americans, all while profiting off of huge profits by cheap labor. And now they're getting exploited by the very factories they exploited themselves. So if you're a small business owner, this is your moment. You can work directly with suppliers, you can build your own brand, and cut all the corporate snakes out of the equation. Just know what you're doing, because not everything is worth buying in bulk. But hey, the opportunity's there, right? Tariffs didn't fail, greed did. And Trump warned us. Now it's all coming to light.
This bag, how much in your country? In my country, $24, $24, $24, $24, $24. All is $24. If you like this bag, come to me. I'm in Guangzhou. Want for you.
Ooh, America, you have messed up. Is anybody else's TikTok full of these Chinese factories promising them easy access to cheap furniture, dishwashing pods, laundry pods, cheap shoes, Hermes bags? Guys, have you bought anything? I'm too scared. I think it's a scam, but if it's gonna be real, guys, watch me rock up with a Hermes bag at school.
European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods. Don't you?
Do yourself a favor and fall down the rabbit hole of Chinese manufacturers' TikTok. Oh, they ain't playing. They are absolutely sticking the knife in to America. They're pointing out that there is no other place in the world that has the OEM factory quality that they do. We're being absolutely point blank about the obscene profit margin and the very cheap peasant labor employed to get Americans their products. It's a little bit like Red Note, except it's gone on TikTok directly. The truth is being revealed. Are the MAGA cultists listening? I don't think so, but they now have the option to understand how the international trade works vis-a-vis America. Why all of the shit in American stores is so fucking cheap. They're spilling the motherfucking tea, and it's fucking great to watch.
Damn, he said they are spilling the mother effing tea, and it's great to watch.
Hello from China. Let me show you the United States products in my home. Nothing. Do you have something from China in your home?
That one stung. He went there. I know your FYP has been flooded by Chinese manufacturers giving you the inside scoop on the cost of goods, especially luxury goods. 50% of cameras, 30% of air conditioners and TVs, 25% of washing machines, and 20% of refrigerators in the world is now being produced and assembled in China. China makes half of the world's cement and flat glass, and about a third of its aluminum. It's true what that creator said. Just look around in your house. I'm willing to bet most of your belongings have been made in China. Do I have anything that's made in the US? And if you've been paying attention to Exposed Talk, almost 80% of luxury goods come from China. Slap a luxury label on there and the value goes up 10 times. Factories telling us $30,000 Hermes bags cost $1,500 to make. Your typical store item costs 20 cents. Guys, we picked the wrong fight.
Man, look, I don't know where to start, but let's talk about it, bro. I don't even know how I ended up on this side of TikTok with the Trump tariffs, you know, and the Chinese manufacturer. They talking about, oh, your Gucci, your Louis that you paying $10,000 for, oh, we make it for $2. What the fuck? Wait a minute. $2? $2. How much Jordans cost? Okay? How much do a Jordan cost? All right, because over here, we talking about 200, 250. I got big feet. Okay? I got big feet, size 13. These are big. Okay? Is that a pause moment? I don't know. But anyway, can you give me Jordans for $5? I'll take it. I'll take it. 20 pair, $5? Shoot. I spend that $100. I spend that motherfucker. I slap it down on the table. Take my credit card or my debit card or Apple Pay or Zelle. However the payment needs to be sent, I will send it. Just tell me how to get to that part of TikTok, okay? Tell me how to get over there, okay? Because let me tell you something. Some of y'all sending me to wrong places, okay? One of y'all told me, oh, go to Camel Kicks, right? Okay, I'm all right, okay. I hit her up. She's talking about $155. Wait a minute, lady. I thought this was the cheaper route. $155, then and shipping and all that. I'm paying regular price. I need Klarna. I need to hit my Klarna up. I got a lot of purchase power in my Klarna. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, make it work. Got to make that happen. I can make payments. All right, $30 here, $25 here. I can do that. I can't do a full 155 plus shipping and handling. That's a lot of money, man.
It's funny. Oh my God, TikTok has been on fire today, honey.
Yo, China telling right now. They telling us, yo, Lululemon, that only costs $3 to make, but they selling you for $150. They telling the LV bags, yo, that we make that over here too. They telling, yo, buy from straight from us. We gonna get you right. But y'all worry about the wrong things. I don't care about no fake clothes. Who's making the furniture over there, gang? Like, who is making furniture? I need whoever in China that got that good furniture to hit me up. That's what I'm interested in. That's why I love stuff like this. Like, who got good furniture? Who got the good bed? If you got good, yo, DM me, son. Like, yo, DM me if your bed, you got the nice Tempur-Pedic bed, the adjustable one for the low. Yo, DM me. I've been had WhatsApp. I could.
You want $1, $2 Nike shoe? Wholesale? Come on. $3 Timberland? America charging your black ass a lot? For nothing? No worry, come fuck with us in China. This shit all down my timeline. But you won't give me the information on how to get the $1, $2 Nike. Link is in the bio, man. That WhatsApp shit ain't working for me. Somebody help me out because I'm trying to get $1, $2 and Birkin bag $5. I'm ready to fucking move there. You know what I mean? Period. But hit me with the real information. You want $1, $2 Nike shoe?
$1, $2 Nike shoe. He's funny. And why he like he got some Asian in him? Like he got some Asian ancestry from way back when. He is too funny.
China Wholesale Clothing. Large inventory of clothing. Wholesale at low price. Includes men's, women's, and children's clothing.
Look, I knew it was time for me to get my rich girl era and live my best life, but China is making it even easier, baby. With them dropping these websites and giving it straight to the source, I could be a bad bitch and still be on a budget. I tell you that.
China, where's the links? Where are the links? China's out here exposing all the luxury brands saying, come order from us. Come order straight from us. Stop paying $100 for Lululemon leggings. Come buy them from us for $5 or $6. Where? Where's the link? I want the $5 or $6 Lululemon leggings. Please, where do I order? China! You can't just be out here exposing this shit and not tell me where I can order, okay? Where am I getting the Birkin bags? Where am I getting the Lululemon leggings? Where do I order? Because I'm ready to shop. I'm ready to drop a bag, bitch.
China is all over my TikTok. I want to know, how do I get these shoes? How do I get these shoes? I seen a post.
Y'all, she need them dollar Nikes. Hook her up.
Of the warehouse. Go through the comments. The comments say, the creator, of the post says, oh, text WhatsApp, yada yada. That feel like a scam. That sounds fake. I don't want to do that. I need a website. A website that I can tap in my phone, my keyboard, my search bar, and be able to search and be able to shop.
Hey, so what's going on, y'all? Hey, listen. I've been seeing all the, the Chinese manufacturers dropping the gems and all that, man. And yeah, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? I think we missing a bigger picture, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. These people been scamming us and all that, which is, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us already really knew that anyway. But forget trying to buy their stuff for the low. We need to be locking in with these Chinese manufacturers and producing our own stuff. Feel me? They giving you the sauce, they giving you all the game on how much it costs and where to get it from. We can get the same quality as Nike, same quality as Louis Vuitton, Lulu, whatever that shit called. They giving you the sauce. We missing the way bigger picture. Like, forget buying Louis Vuitton for the low over there. Fuck that.
Right,
we
Joe.
need to compete with Louis Vuitton because we know where they getting their stuff at. We can put the same quality that they putting out for better pricing. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's think bigger, man. Fuck buying this shit over there. You feel what I'm saying?
The Chinese takedown of luxury goods is wild right now because luxury goods are a huge source of soft power for the West. Soft power is power through things like culture, music, even language. Like US TV shows, that's a form of soft power. because it makes the US aspirational and desirable in some ways. So with luxury brands, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, these Birkins, it creates this aspiration for the West, or aspiration to be European in a way, showing that Europe is this gold standard of quality. But when China's revealing that 80% of anything you buy that's Gucci is made in China, that over 60% of anything that you buy from Prada is made in China, that the only difference is that they send it over to Europe and then they stitch on a made in France or made in Italy little label. It's the ultimate pulling the curtain on the wizard in The Wizard of Oz and showing that there actually is no real magic and power in the person who's controlling Oz. I think it's going to be really interesting because there is such a stigma of something that's made in China. There's this perception of lesser quality in the West, but when you reverse that paradigm, when you show that all these goods that you thought were better because they came from Italy or France or wherever, when actually, in actuality, it comes from China, you're forcing consumers to reckon with why they make choices. So if consumers are going to start questioning the perceived worth,
He's saying some really deep stuff. I'm liking where he's going with this. It's going to make you question everything now as a consumer, where it's coming from, and is it really worth paying $60,000 for a bag where their take-home profit is $59,000? Like, it's insane.
Worth of luxury goods. Consumers are going to then realize that luxury brands are just high markup middlemen. They're just peddling an idea of something versus an actual quality good. And you can just then cut them out and go to the source. And so I think what China is doing right now, by shifting this perception of soft power, by taking back soft power, by showing real power in infrastructure and manufacturing, we're going to see a real flip in a lot of things, whether it comes to labor market, whether it comes to manufacturing, whether it comes to who buys luxury goods and perception of luxury as well. And so, I don't know, I'm just in it for the ride here.
China luxury goods is all over my FYP, and I am saving everything. I am getting so much information so that I can buy my hair and stuff directly from China. Watch this video.
And for instance, number 7 is our deep wave 8x5 Globalization swag deep wave flash sale now. Honey, number 7 8x5 Globalization swag deep wave beginner friendly ready to go Globalization swag deep wave. Lowest price, already changing the price. If you love this one, number 7 8x5 Globalization swag deep wave, you can order directly. Number 7 lowest price now. How to get wholesale price? Very, very easy. Click my follow button, follow me enough. Oh, you can't order. I'm sorry, honey. You are from South Africa. You can't order. I'm sorry. When every week the price so cheap because we are factory direct. No middleman. We are factory direct. We are 100%.
Told you, go directly to the factory. There's a lot of good wood makers out here.
When that Chinese man got on his app and said all the luxury items are made in China and they only go to Italy to have the tag put on it, the designer tag, and once that designer tag is put on it, now it can say made in Italy because only that small little percentage was actually made in Italy, but that's all it takes to say made in Italy. Now it makes it over here to our designer boutiques and we're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for something that was in fact made in China, not Italy. Okay. How y'all doing?
All right, so you guys just saw all of those videos and clips. I know this video is probably long, but it was well worth it. So the Chinese are exposing everything and the conversations are being had. People are really having to rethink, what they consider luxury and if they're willing to pay that extra price tag. And with the way the economy's going, people losing their jobs, I don't think a lot of people with common sense are worried about buying a bunch of Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, all that stuff when their money is really tied up, and paying bills and stuff like that. So this has been a very interesting Count Your Days, but I look forward to reading the comments from you guys, tea sippers. Let me know what you guys think about this entire video. How do y'all feel about the tariff war that's going on? How do you feel about the Chinese coming back and being super petty and spilling all the luxury tea? Will you guys be buying from some of these luxury wholesalers directly? Will you continue to just go to, Louis Vuitton? And then how do you feel about, luxury goods in general? Like, do you feel like they're worth it, or is it better to just buy knockoffs? I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this video. I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Deuces.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.